What's up everybody and welcome to the Season 3 Epilogue. In case you're new to this channel, let us explain. We do our show in seasons, odd-numbered seasons, go over the spring and summer, bleeding a little bit into the fall, and then our even-numbered seasons are fall and winter, bleeding a little bit into the spring. This is the end of our spring and summer season, so we're just kind of going over what we've been doing in the past 2 weeks because that's usually where we take a break, take a breather. We upload the last videos and then we don't do film work for a bit, and we just kind of shoot things sporadically here and there just to kind of keep it going, keep it fresh, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, just to give you a heads up as to what's going to happen in this video, we're dealing with some stuff with the silver car because we have sold the silver car. We are also doing some modifications to my car's dash, my Evo's dash, and getting some stuff ready and together for the gold Nissan and selling the red Nissans. As you guys might remember, this is my daily, good old Mitsu-chan. We're actually going to be taking the stereo out and swapping the stereo with the one that's in the Evo. I personally like the one that's in Mitsu-chan better than the one that's in the Evo. So because of that, we're going to swap it out and we're doing a stereo relocation. Basically, that means that this stereo will go from where it's at to this little cubby spot. We got a nice OEM part from Mitsubishi that's going to basically replace this piece here with this one here. I'll just show it to you guys. If you have ever seen our stereo install tutorials on these cars, then you already know how to do this part, because all you're doing is instead of putting a stereo into the top slot, you're putting it into the cubby slot, bolting it to that framework that's there, and then not worrying about it, just rerouting wires around the little stereo, or not stereo, but AC control unit, and calling it a day. So it's pretty straightforward. This is the part here, nice, fresh, brand new parts. We were actually missing these in the Evo, so I'm glad we have them now. And then the PS de resistance, the actual stereo holder itself. So as you can tell, it looks like the tray, only instead of having this nice little cubby thingy back here, it's just an open back so that we can put a stereo in and do wiring. Got the faceplate all taken off, and there you go. So now you guys can see the difference. This is the stock storage box, I guess you could really call this thing. What we've bought from Mitsubishi through ETS is a version of this that does not have this back piece. So just a real easy relocation thing, and it has the lip that we need in order to actually mount a stereo to it, because otherwise you can just delete this and put gauges in it. It is what it is. But now we're going to get the rest of the stereo out of Mitsu-chan and get it put in here so you can take that one out. Just to show you what I did, if you can see back there, there is that nice big old space, and you can reach up from underneath and put your fingers through. I don't know if you can see it. There it goes. Yep. You can put your fingers through there. So what I did was I routed the cabling down into that little cavern down here and set everything up and wire things together and all that stuff. Now we're going to use one of these poles as a ground. Our stereo's already wired in. We need to wire in our microphone so we can use the phone with it. Then these brackets get bolted there, and then you slip this cover on and you're done. Alrighty, got it all wired in. But before we put it all together, I want to officially test it. So keys in. Oh, turn that off. Hey, source, tuner. Whatever plays, plays. Can testify. Yes, we have stereo, and it's got bass. Clearing out this car, clearing it up, let it go to a new home, to a new family. I'm really hoping that she'll be well taken care of. And of course, for me, well taken care of means that we make this beast spotless, make her look good. She is currently coated, I don't even see her, but coated in both, so I'm trying to keep it. I'm kind of embarrassed to say that there's a lot of trash in here. Like this is just one bag of stuff, and like there's still more to go. Some of that's mail, some of that's some personal belongings, but the fact is there's a lot more in here than I anticipated. Some of that's from the trip down to North Carolina to get the 240, but we're getting some progress. I did want to mention on here too real quick that these seats are going to be sold with the car. We just have to take this seat off so we can get that bar back on. Yeah, we need to reinstall that bar, get it set in there, and leave a warning label saying don't sit all the way back or you will chop your fingers off. Also, I'm selling this car with that stereo there. That's the one from out of the Evo. I personally like the way that the one that was in Mitsu-chan here sounded, which is why it's now in that one, and it's sounding fantastic. We also got to take this roof rack off. That's coming with me. I tried to do it, but it's really a two-man job just because of the way it sits and all that tomfoolery and nonsense. We still have to clean out the trunk, and I am actually going to throw out the trunk cover. That way, because my friend is a bit industrious that's buying this car, he can make his own trunk cover thing. Dude, that jack is amazingly loud. Okay, let's just say that jack used to be right here in the middle. And where's the bar go? Oh, it's way up there. Now you know it was going around back here. I'm amazed. If that's not pop, I'm being amazed. Oh my goodness.
Started.
That. Oh man. Oh yeah, this was from when we went to North Carolina. I'm curious. Oh god. Oh man, that's strong. Good.
Wow. It's actually good.
Well, I'm not a kimchi guy, so you enjoy.
It'd be interesting to have this on sushi.
Ooh, ideas. It's like today's turned into a clean your car out day. You're cleaning out yours, I'm cleaning out mine. I've just got to get this impact wrench out so I can finally sit there and save my wrist. So you get the chair out, you get the adjuster bar put back on. This man's helping me get the seat off. It's kind of hard to believe that all of this came out of my car. Like we're throwing out the old trunk cover where the spare tire would go. The rack obviously came off. That's all garbage. Yeah, we'll ignore that. Some of my goods from inside the car, my shoes I kept in the back, some other spare stuff like bullets from the range. They got tucked into the sides, some fluids and such, cleaners, lubricants, whatever. So, yeah, it's hard to believe, man. It's the end of an era for the channel for sure. This Lancer brought us a lot of good love, lots of good love. But now it's time to move on to new things. We came to this car because we're done with taking stuff out of the Lancer. We're gonna go clean it here in a minute. We went to try and take the radiator out, and lo and behold, there's no radiator. It's just spare parts lying everywhere, and we forgot that the previous owner told us about there being no radiator. He also doesn't mention that this tank had a hole too. But we took the mirror out of this one just to get the other one actually working, so we can figure out a way to get one of those off. And now we're taking the shrouds off of this one. But we're taking the shrouds so that we can replace the ones on ours. And what else? Cigarette lighter, you said? Pull the cigarette lighter out. He's struggling with the bolts for the housings. Gonna take the housings off of this one. Some on this one. Take those ones home and clean them up. Maybe do something with them. We don't know. We'll reveal that later. You know, cool stuff. So for those of you that are eagle-eyed and notice things and were paying attention, when we relocated the stereo, there's a big gap up there now. What are we putting in there? Well, it's not that we're necessarily putting something in that particular slot. We're just replacing the entire front piece. This is our new center console / dash piece. I actually do have the stickers for the heater controls. Quick story, I actually need to replace my heater control module because I accidentally broke the temperature dial, and it's a common thing on Lancers if you're looking at buying a Lancer or an Evo, specifically an 8 or a 9. These heater knobs get stuck. This is the gauge where you switch between cold and hot. They get stuck often. They're shaped like an elbow, and instead of it being like a bicep where it pulls in when you turn it on this side, it's like you're pushing the elbow upwards to get it. It's weird. Long and short of it is that I need to replace this. We'll probably do a tutorial on that later. This is the epilogue. We're showing you what's coming for next part of the season. Two of these things are these two gauges here. This is the AEM True Boost. We're going to get this set up for 24 PSI because that is what my car runs on. This is our AFR, which I'm going to get kind of preset in here. And then this will eventually be a fuel pressure gauge. And later on we'll add a fourth gauge, not to this part, but to where like the little cigarette lighter area is. There's that one lift up piece. That will probably end up getting an oil pressure gauge or something of that type later. But for now, we're going to install these, and it's pretty easy. You unscrew those little gold bits right there on the end. Take this black piece off, slide it in there, put the black piece on, slide the gold bits in, screw them in, you're done. One thing I will mention while I'm doing this, these gauges are not going to be working until I do the wiring for them, and when that happens, we're probably going to do it at the same time as the tune for some of our stage 2 parts, because that's just a smart thing to do. So we're just getting them set in there so we can fill it in and make the car look nice, and you know, not have things look so jank. Guys, ever since I sold the silver car, this thing has been a mess with all the stuff that was inside of it. But we're gonna worry about that a different day. Let's get this new face plating, man. Let's see what this looks like. So one thing that I did not realize was that these little yellow teeth all need to come out so that you can plug them into the other one. So the trick that I discovered was if you take some pliers and you grab the very end of them and just pull real hard, eventually it comes off. So once you take those off, put them into the new one, then you can put your new dash kit center console back together, and it's gonna look pretty. And there you have it, guys. That looks so good, so much better than that down there. Forgive the garbage. I'm cleaning my car out actually right now, but this looks so much better. It's clean, it looks good. There are some areas where it looks kind of funny, but all in all, that is a really, really nice setup. I like it a lot. I know other cars use this, and my whole motto is similar but different, but you know, it's similar to other people, but I'm definitely doing it differently by putting all AEM gauges in. This one, I'm still debating on which one I want to do. It's going to be a pressure gauge, but I can't decide if I want oil or fuel pressure in this particular slot. AFR, which still needs to be welded in, and the boost, which I'm going to have programmed and wired in when we go to modify this car and tune it for higher horsepower again. Probably after a bigger downpipe. But yeah, I love this thing, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It has been a blast this season. We went from 20 something subscribers to 120, almost 130 subscribers in the past 6 months. So thank you to all you guys that have subbed this season. It really means a lot because we've really been working hard to try and grow our community as well as give you guys some really good stuff to watch. So it means a lot when we see that more and more people want to see our stuff. But before you leave, this Saturday we have Cars and Cigars. It's the last one of the year, and Driven to Cure is going to be there. We're going to make sure that we're there. This is going to be our season 4 opener, so if you want to be in the show, come see us, come check us out. The Evo will be there, and we're going to do our best to make sure that we can bring the Gold 240 there. Thank all you guys for subbing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in season 4. Ain't that right, Ishmael?
What?
I said, ain't that right, Ishmael?
Yeah. Yes, I do love pandas.
Yes, I do love pandas.